the major learnings for the year. Again, I don't see a lot of this happening in annual reviews is what did you learn from the year? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds or 60 seconds. What are some of the major learnings from the year? So good. We could all use more time off the grid when you say nod. Yes. Okay, good. I agree with that. I said this in this last week. I said, one of my strengths with clients is that I'm naive. Because I trust people. I just trust people and they feel that to start with. But to your point, when you start moving to more cold calling, I can do that with you guys. I can do it with warm connections. When you start moving on to the cold, there's people out there that aren't like, they're not going to take advantage of you. So that's really good. Okay. I'm going to share two of mine, too. And this first one came out, I was doing a panel discussion on career success. And I was the oldest one on the panel. There was three other folks. And then this just came out of my mouth. And people were like, "Oh!" Everybody's like, "Stop!" And somebody else said, "Write that down." So it was so good. Learn how to love learning, especially when it's hard. Learn how to.
Could you add a comma? Or expensive?
Yeah, you're right.
Hard and expensive.
Learn how to love learning. Learn how to love learning, especially when it's hard. And my mini story with that is, in the midst of my pneumonia, when I was coughing my lungs out and I started crying, I literally sat back and I said, this is perfect. I'm learning. My body's teaching me something here. And then I love to learn that moment when that was the hardest. It's like, okay, it's not just honoring the moment. It's like, okay, thank you. And I was like, I love this moment. So that was the first one. The second one, I love this. I love twists on words. As you know, I love quotes, but this came out of my mouth again on something too. Your perspective may not reflect reality, but your perspective can change reality. Nate's going like, oh yeah. So your perspective may not reflect reality. Whose does? Whose perspective reflects reality? But your perspective changes reality. I think that's so important. That's why, Keziah, through the difficulties, it's like, yes, we learn staying positive with your clients and stuff like that is so important because that changes the reality with your clients. And having your guard up too. Part of your guard up too, when you said that, that's Tai Chi training for me. It's like, yeah, I've got my guard up too. And that's important. Okay, so those are my two learnings.